going into 2024, you have to be very bullish on EV makers like Tesla.
I like that. Ross also said that Tesla is an AI company. This was a pretty fun clip, so let's take a look.
Tesla shares closing the day lower. Back to life, back to reality, back-to-back losses here after the EV giant saw 13 straight days of gains.
These back-to-back losses that he is speaking about are only equal to about 1% of Tesla's market cap, so that's really nothing.
Look, it was a hot streak. Earlier this week, Bank of America analysts, though, they estimated that the U.S. electric vehicles market will drop to 18% by 2026. For more on the EV space, we welcome in Ross Gerber, Wealth Investment Management CEO. Ross, great to speak with you here today. You know, even as we kind of look at this win streak that Tesla has had, you have been one of the more vocal names around Tesla shares, whether it's, you know, thinking that Elon Musk should give up the reins to somebody else, or whether it's just how they're able to make sure that they're locking in margins for the longer term. You look at a win streak like we saw, net happy, net sad that it's snapped. What goes through your mind?
Well, I'm certainly not sad when you own 420,000 shares of Tesla that have it, go up substantially and make my clients, I don't know, $50 million, pretty happy.
For us, I'm certainly very happy. Making $50 million for your clients, that's pretty good. Not a long time ago, Ross said that really the main way for Tesla stock to go up was for Tesla to increase earnings estimates. I don't think the earnings estimates really increased much. And when Tesla was trading at a PE ratio of about 50, he said, that's a pretty fair PE ratio for Tesla stock. So let's see what he says now.
Just to be clear, I didn't want any change in Tesla's management. I wanted change in Twitter's management, which is what we got. And by getting Elon back at Tesla and all the moves they've made just in the 30 days since Elon's really been refocused on Tesla, with signing up the entire world to the Tesla charging infrastructure, for example, and having a very, very positive meetings in China, we just have seen full-fledged how Elon's focus makes such a huge difference in the results. And the stock market has responded, and institutional investors have come back into the stock, and now we're back to the valuation that Tesla deserves.
Well, I personally believe that the current valuation of Tesla stock is still very unfair, and it should be quite a bit higher. And it's not obvious if Tesla perhaps was already talking to GM and Ford, and those deals would have been made without Elon anyway, or whether Elon has been really pushing lately and it was Elon who made these deals possible. We just don't know, but it does look good for Elon. So while it is difficult to pinpoint exactly what kind of a difference Elon has made since he appointed the new Twitter CEO, materially to Tesla's stock, in terms of here we will have better earnings now because Elon did this for, let's say, Cybertruck specifically. I can't pinpoint things yet other than Tesla made these two deals with Ford and GM. So for now, it's just that the perception is different. So think about what will happen once we actually also have tangible results. Because Elon is paying attention, very close attention to Tesla right now, and he will push everyone to get things done. For example, remember this whole hiring decisions that Tesla need Elon Musk's approval. This came out in May. It will take some time for this to really show up in the bottom line, and this will show up as higher earnings and higher profit margins.
So Ross, Diane here, with regard to both of you had been bullish on Tesla way before the rest of the market has caught up. But previously you were pushing for a board seat. Are you happy with how Tesla is being run now?
Well, I mean, pretty much everything I was pushing for, they've done. So yeah, I'm thrilled. Once again, Tesla was never really against any of the ideas that I was presenting. It was really just Elon. And so I think there was just a period of time that it took for several of these things to sort of percolate into his mind, into existence. And now things are moving in very much the direction that I had hoped. I feel a lot more confident about the succession plan and management. The changes in the board with JB Straubel, I was very much for. So I'm happy to have JB and Tom Zhu on the board, which really represent operational players for Tesla.
Ross misspoke there a little bit. JB Straubel, the co-founder of Tesla, he is now on the board, but Tom Zhu, he is not. But Tom Zhu is sort of like a COO of Tesla, maybe. Not officially, though, although that may be a pretty good position for Tom in the long term. Officially, he is the Senior Vice President of Automotive. The two main things that Ross was against when Tesla stock was down to almost $100 was, number one, Tesla is not doing advertising, and Tesla is still not doing any advertising, although Elon did commit to trying a little advertising, but Tesla has not really done it yet. And then the next thing was for Elon to come back to Tesla and commit to Tesla. But back then, that was a dangerous proposition because I think Elon's priorities were focused on Twitter and not as much on Tesla, because Twitter was in great danger. Now it's not. So the priorities, I think, are reversing, and Tesla is now more important to Elon again than Twitter. But if we would have made an ultimatum to Elon and told him to quit Twitter immediately and focus on Tesla, he might have just chosen to leave Tesla or step down as the CEO of Tesla, and that could have seriously backfired. Elon just needed some time, and now he's back.
But also just the investor day I thought was super illuminating, followed by a shareholder day that was also very illuminating to what's happening with the company and their focus. So when you look at Tesla as a whole, obviously there's many challenges they face over the next year, but with Cybertruck launch imminent and the economy hopefully looking like we're through the worst of it and of the rate cycle hike, so hopefully we won't have a recession, and going into 2024 you have to be very bullish on EV makers like Tesla.
I like that sentence. You have to be very bullish going into 2024 on EV makers like Tesla. I like that. I'm certainly bullish in the long term, although in the short term, if we have a bad recession, which hopefully we don't have, but if we do have, Tesla stock will take a dump again.
We've heard some on the street call out and say that Tesla is now an AI play. Do you believe that to be true? And has Tesla disclosed enough of how much it's willing to spend on artificial intelligence at this point for you?
Well, it's really nice that everybody's into AI, but this has been going on for a long time. AI development, NVIDIA is another top investment in my fund, GK, along with Tesla is our top investment. And so it's been a really good year for us at GK.
Indeed, it has been a pretty good year so far, almost 22% higher year to date, although it is not as good as Gary Black's fund, which is up 30.5% so far year to date.
But, when you look at Tesla, it is an AI company where its solution, it's not only an AI company, but its solution is autonomy or having cars drive themselves. So this is a much more difficult AI solution than, let's say, generative AI, getting it to tell you, how many, stocks are in the S&P 500 or something, which is 500. So, it's kind of like the market's finally realizing the full value of the software that they've been developing for a long time, that a lot of people have been saying is going to be incredibly valuable. Now I think the market's starting to say, hey, you know what? These cars do drive themselves, and that could be awesome.
One reason why it is so difficult for Tesla compared to, let's say, a large language model such as ChatGPT to be really useful today already, although it is pretty useful in certain areas. I use it almost every time when I drive now. But it's hard because you don't have millions of clips of people driving uploaded onto YouTube, for example, that you can actually plug into your model, but you can plug millions of books that have been written throughout our history, feed it into ChatGPT, and then ChatGPT gets better immediately. In our case, we need to basically write all of these books. In this case, we just need to generate a lot of footage that we can use to train our AI model.
You mentioned the Cybertruck earlier, but that has been delay after delay. Is it ever going to come?
Well, we don't look at Tesla timelines as delays. That would assume that the original date was actually real. So we look at Tesla when they set timelines as really goals. So they haven't achieved their goal in reaching production as quickly as we had hoped, but they're certainly reaching it now. So we're now at the beginning of, can they make these in scale, and how much pain will they go through making these in scale? And we'll see in the next probably 3 to 6 months how successful they'll be at scaling Cybertruck production. So we're hoping for the best. And I was just in Austin, and they're employing incredible new technologies to build this truck. So it'll be quite a challenge. So it's great to have Elon back on the factory floor really working at Tesla.
Well, I like the vehicles. I'm on the fence about the Cybertruck.
I'm not that sure that Elon going forward will spend as much time on the factory floor as he did before. He will certainly spend some time, and it will be significant. But right now, he is in Europe. Once Cybertruck starts to ramp, then it would be great if Elon could spend more time in Austin, Texas in the Gigafactory. And in this video, I talk about why Tesla board members are not buying more Tesla stock. My name is Matt Post. Just like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.